Scream Queens.
Welcome to Screen Queens, the podcast / YouTube. We should tell people that there's full episodes on YouTube.
Full video episodes on YouTube.
Because there's some people that might not know we're wearing full velour tracksuits every time we record this podcast.
So head over to YouTube to check it out because it's gorgeous.
Yes.
But this is Screen Queens, the podcast where two comedians watch, review, and gossip about everything on your screens. My name is Alex J. I am a writer, comedian, free lady of the day.
A free lady of the Lance.
And you are?
Who the fuck am I? I'm Beck Charlwood, and I am a comedian, podcaster, writer, and look, general gossip around town.
Oof.
I will say I've clocked something about that I've been saying recently.
Oh, yeah.
I always ask people, instead of like, what's been going on, I always go, what's gossip? And people go, I don't have any gossip. And I was like,
It's a lot of pressure.
and I realized I'm like, I'm not necessarily looking for gossip. I mean, like, what's happening in your life? But it's often gotten me a little bit of gossip.
I bet that people are like racking their brains, saying, what's the last gossip I have to tell Beck?
Yes. Or people are just like, God, Beck is really, she can't even ask how I am. She just wants to know what the gossip is. She doesn't even care.
They don't know that how you are is gossip to you.
Whatever you're up to, that could be considered gossip.
Well, Beck, I have a question for you. What's goss?
Oh, baby girl. Where do I begin? Okay, this is kind of gossipy because this is something I've watched on the teeny tiny screen.
Actually,
Yes.
sorry, we should. The biggest gossip right now is we are in a new studio.
Oh yeah, that's
We're in a new
gossip.
space. For anyone who is watching the YouTube, or if things sound a bit different, if we feel a bit more relaxed, we're on a bloody couch now.
Yes, an actual one. It's so comfy. It's your couch.
We are filming from my living room.
Yeah.
We're bringing the Screen Queens to where it belongs, which is your living room.
Well, back to where it began with our first podcast was
that's
recorded
true
in
too.
your living room.
That's true too. Oh, so sweet. So now we're literally recording in front of a television where we belong, and we're home.
We're home, baby.
Literally in my
Literally
home.
in your home. So comfortable.
Yes. Sorry. Keep going.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I saw this on my small screen and I've sent it to multiple people. I'm like, are you getting these videos as well? And people are like, no, please stop sending them to me. They're freaking me out.
And you're ruining my algorithm.
So have you heard of there's this beautiful grandpa called Teddy Keys.
No.
Okay, give him a look because I'm locked out on my Instagram because I don't have any boundaries.
Not because you've been suspended.
Yes. Teddy, it's Keys spelled Keez.
What? Oh, it's real. He's real.
He's real.
He's earnest.
Yes.
It's not satire or parody.
No.
Okay.
And so it's like, so it's this, okay, for everyone listening, it's this very sweet grandpa who's 75 and he has made a full animated feature-length film for his grandchild and
Stop. What?
yes.
Oh, it's just as a gift.
Well, this is the thing that confuses me about it because some people right now feel like, why are you mocking this
Sure.
old man?
Yeah,
like he clearly just cares. This is the thing. He's like, I made this feature film and soundtrack for my granddaughter specifically. However, he is relentlessly promoting it on
Right. Yeah.
or social media with these bizarre videos where he will list very famous artists and fantastic songs. And particularly the soundtrack one, he'll be like that one. He's like, Hakuna Matata was written by Elton John and then used in an animated movie. It's like, no, it was written for the animated movie. He didn't just come up with Hakuna Matata and then the writers of The Lion King were like, that's crazy.
This fits in exactly with the scene we just wrote.
Literally,
Elton.
we didn't know it was going to go with this dancing warthog and meerkat. How the fuck did he do that? And then he'll be like, and they wrote that when they were older.
Oh.
And so it's like, it's really sweet, but I'm like, and then you look at the animated film and it is bizarre.
It looks like anime.
It's like full uncanny valley
Yes.
of this like quite sexual looking Asian woman who's also a ninja called Angel Eyes. And anyway, it's baffling. It's sweet, but it's also like, I think it's fine to kind of pull the piss out of it because it's like, well, he's also trying to get this funded or make it popular
or something.
or get these songs that he's made put into another movie. Like if it was just like one sweet video of being like, look, I made this for my granddaughter. Oh, but this, I'm just like, this is crazy. Like such a miss of like how things are made. And like,
I think it's fine to make fun. Like, it's bizarre. It's on the internet. It's bizarre. You can't ignore something that's bizarre.
Yeah.
You can't pretend it's normal just because a sweet old man made it. It's still weird. And you still talk about how it's weird.
And there's like 40 of them, like all listing different things. I get every day I get a new one.
Do you actually follow him?
It's no, because I don't want to lean in and follow him, and then I feel like if you hate watching something, you shouldn't follow someone.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like it has to come to you.
Yeah,
you can't
it just
actively
comes to you.
keep searching it and be like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
But that's my personal rule. No one else feel
I love
inclined. But every day I'm just getting like me 75 and then hearing another snippet of the song Angel from the movie Angel Eyes that makes no sense.
Well, I hope to one day review the movie Angel Eyes on Screen Queens. I hope it gets distributed. I hope it gets picked up. A24, if you're listening.
Oh my God, I might try and watch it before next week.
Has he actually released it?
This is the thing. It's not clear as to where you can watch the whole film.
Of course.
Or the music to it. Anyway, I'll look into it. I'll report back.
Angel Eyes. The hit of the season.
Yeah, but that's what's gossip with me.
Okay.
Every day, just in the trees. So still, they're not after us. Who? Who is after us?
Teddy, Theodore, tell us who.
Please. Anyway, that's gossip with me. What's gossip with you?
Okay, well, first thing I'd like to talk about is the stunning, ethereal queen of the world, Celine Dion.
Oh my God.
Absolutely ripping it up at the Paris Olympics opening ceremony.
Did you watch the full ceremony?
I did not. I've just watched clips. My betrothed was in the living room watching the entire thing, but I'm like, it's sports. I don't care. And now I realize, of course, that was the part for me. That's the part of the Olympics that was for me, and I missed it.
Yes.
But I've seen Celine, and oh my God. Are you a Celine fan?
Oh,
of course.
Do I have blood in my veins and air in my lungs? Are you kidding me? Also, after coming out, I wish before I do it, I want to watch the documentary about her and having stiff person syndrome.
Yes.
Because the only thing I've seen is like spliced together her being like, I will sing again. And then her at the opening. And I was like, I did up. And it was like a 30-second reel. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, you get the tissues before you watch her perform. It was just stunning because of everything that she's been through. She's had the roughest fucking trot.
Oh my God.
Of anyone, and you could just tell that like this was her moment. She's like she's French Canadian and she's singing. I don't know. It was just her moment, and it would have been so tough for her to get up there and to do it, and she killed it. She hit every note. It was just like.
She wouldn't have gone up if she didn't know she could do it. There's no way Celine would gamble.
That's true, actually. That's so true. Oh, God, I just love her. She's ethereal. She's otherworldly.
Yes.
She's a diva, but not in the way of Mariah Carey's a diva. She's like she's a diva because she just knows.
Yes.
She's queen.
She has sung My Heart Will Go On probably every day for the past decade and a half.
Yep.
And I've never seen a clip of her not giving it her all.
Exactly.
I remember actually there was an interview I watched of her talking about it and being like, people come out to hear that song specifically. So I will always treat it with the most respect.
Oh my God, chills.
She's just the best.
Oh, I fucking loved it. And another thing I just wanted to touch on from the Olympics opening ceremony is all the controversy around the quote Last Supper montage with the drag
big
queens.
gay Smurf?
Yep.
Sorry, that's a little bit inappropriate, but I've seen like just the thing of being like it was gay, and I was like, we're in gay Paris. Shut up.
Have you seen Moulin Rouge? That's where this is.
Yeah.
So big controversy. I'm sure everyone would have heard something about it, but, you know, the right wingers come out being like, that was disrespectful to Christianity. You've made a mockery of the Last Supper because drag queens were doing the tableau of the Last Supper. Anyway, turns out that's wrong. It wasn't the Last Supper. It was recreating a tableau called The Feast of the Gods.
Oh.
And it's actually a nod to Greek mythology, i.e. Olympus, i.e. the Olympics.
Yes.
So it wasn't a Last Supper thing anyway.
What the fuck?
Jesus wasn't anywhere near this
He
tableau.
wasn't, I believe. I don't know the timelines.
So it's just a perfect example of just, you know, conservatives just going ape shit about anything to do with gayness or drag queens. And it turns out they're wrong. They're actually just wrong.
Huge miss. Ugh.
So yeah.
Lame. I hate
was
that. This is the thing. I always do this thing with the Olympics. I'm like, who cares? And then slowly everyone will start talking about
Yes.
it. And like, I'll be like, fine, I'll watch. And then I'll be fully in on it. I'll
Yeah.
just be like, I am, you are, we are Australian. Just watching some absolute fit hottie just fang it first through the finish line.
And the women are sweeping the medals from the Australian team.
What ones have we got? Do you know? I don't know. We're killer swimmers.
Well, yes, there's been a lot of stuff around that. Have you
Yeah.
seen all the discourse online about Americans being really like frustrated and bewildered as why is Australia so good at swimming? And everyone's like, because we're fucking girt, motherfucker.
Yeah,
That's
by the
how.
sea, bitch.
You're not girt.
You got to be girt. Where's that in your song?
That's why we can swim.
I've just been getting little snippets of Leslie Jones doing her recaps of the Olympics and her just being like seeing an Australian walk up to the pool and she's like, it's over. It's over for us. I remember watching American movies growing up and people being like, I can't swim. And me being like, who the fuck can't swim? Like,
I
I
thought
don't
it
know.
was by law everyone had to do swimming lessons.
Literally, you had to get up to like, what was it, level 6 or something
Sure,
to
yeah.
pass high school here. It's like doing the Nutbush level 6 swimming.
Bit of freestyle, bit of backstroke. But honestly, every Australian kid, at least from our generation, did swimming lessons. It was just a part of life.
Yeah.
You go to the swimming pool after dinner, after school,
Yeah.
Macca's on the way home.
Or during school sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember, I think everyone, did you have to do this where you put on like a full set of clothes and jump in the pool?
I don't.
Okay.
That sounds like torture.
Honestly, I got up to like level 9 swimming, so maybe that was just like a little
Were you
9
in some
thing.
kind of like disaster prep?
Yeah, well, they're like,
program?
yeah, if you fall in the pool in clothes, like they want to prepare you to be like, you'll be heavier. So like, because your clothes weigh you down.
Smart.
And they're like, then they have to teach you to be like, okay, if the water's like cold, like whether to like take the clothes off to keep swimming or like.
Oh, it's actual survival mode.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Maybe that was just like a WA thing because if we're talking about who's the most girt by sea, it might be Perth.
That's true.
Perth heavily girt by the sea.
Perth is so girded, it's not funny.
Yeah, I don't know a single person that didn't do surf life saving growing up.
Oh, see, that's the next level. I
Yeah.
never did surf life saving or nippers. Did you? Was it?
Yeah,
nippers
everyone
and all
did
that kind of
nippers.
stuff? See, that's why we're such. Yeah, that's a whole culture too. A lot of Australian kids grew up going to nippers, which for any international people is like learning how to surf life save essentially, and
Yeah.
learning how to be safe in the ocean.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Also, I did do a lot of survival preparedness things. Like I did Cub Scouts as well.
Okay, mum or dad? Who's the who's the doomsday prepper there?
I love that you think that my dad would know what activities I was doing outside of school for a second. That's very sweet of you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I'll get into the Olympics. I've started seeing many clips of Simone Biles, which,
Simone.
God, I love her.
And have you seen like Snoop Dogg and how he's just all about the Olympics at the moment?
There's a lot of celebs going out to the Olympics.
Snoop Dogg especially has been like commentating
Oh my God.
things, and he wore a Simone Biles t-shirt and like showed it, and then there's this beautiful clip of Simone's like on the court or whatever it is for gymnastics, the
Yes.
floor.
Yep.
And she saw Snoop and she starts like dancing to him and he starts dancing to her, and it's this beautiful thing. He opens his jacket, he's got a Simone Biles t-shirt
Oh
on.
my God. I love that.
Okay, I just need to start putting, I think, the Olympics just on in the background. That's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
An on in the background show. Show.
On the background. But also depends on the event. Like out of all the events, which ones are like, because there's stuff that it's like, I'm not watching the ping pong.
Nah.
Sorry. Like congratulations to all the ping pongers out there.
So good.
I
Badminton.
No, I don't need to see that.
Volleyball? Yes.
Yes.
Saw an excellent thing on Instagram this morning about all the volleyball players get to wear tights now.
Thank God.
And the boys are mad. They're like, "Ooh, I want to see their butts."
The boy volleyball players?
No, the boys watching the Olympics. Dudes.
Bitch, you still have diving. You still have gymnastics. If you want to look at ass, grow up.
Bouncing around all over the place. So they get to wear black
High
tights.
jumpers, full ass out to sand if you're that desperate.
Yeah. Or Top Gun, man.
Yeah. Or, hey, porn. It's if you really want to look at ass.
Yeah. Disgusting.
That's gross. For a second there, I was like, yeah, look at ass. And I'm like, no, let the athletes be athletes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like whatever they're comfortable in, surely should be what they wear.
Yeah.
So if they're more comfortable not having their ass hanging out while they're jumping around the place, then good for them.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? So like I've played beach volleyball probably once in my entire life.
Impressive.
And in bathers, the amount of sand
That's another thing.
that gets in the cracks and the crannies, washing it out for weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was not playing it at an elite level. These people are diving, dipping, ducking.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad.
Really
This
happy
is the
for
amount
them.
of UTIs and thrush go deeply down.
Oh, that Olympic Village. Could you imagine?
Caniston
So much
being
Caniston.
passed around like a bong.
Sponsored by Caniston. What else have you been watching this week, my love?
Oh my God. So I, big brain here, bragging, have watched 2 documentaries. Yep. Cry about that.
Okay, I didn't realize you were undergoing a PhD.
If you are, wanting to switch over to YouTube, you should, because I have full mega mind right now.
It's scary.
Giant head of thoughts. So I watched the Netflix one that's been coming up on like the main page for ages, The Man with 1,000 Kids.
Oh, I want to watch
You
this
heard
so
about
bad.
this?
Yes.
Okay, so it is, I liked it. It's like very sad to watch and like disturbing because it's about a serial sperm donor.
See, so this is different to the other one that came out a couple of years ago about the guy who ran a sperm bank and turns out he put all of his own sperm in.
Yes.
So there's another guy.
Yes, it was a doctor a fertility doctor who
Yes.
swapped out his own samples.
Yes. And so this guy?
This guy is like travels internationally to donate sperm.
Psycho.
Yeah, I won't spoil it because it is really good.
Okay, cool.
And it is like fascinating and it talks about the implications of having someone donate like a crazy amount of sperm and like how quickly and how many generations of people it can like take to be like, oh, all of a sudden everyone is a descendant. Like Genghis Khan levels of like, fuck, this is too many kids. Like this is, yeah.
And because I remember from the other one about the guy who ran the sperm bank, it was just like, because he was doing it in such a small area, it's like people are going to end up accidentally marrying people they're siblings to.
And they talked about this thing, that it's studied that siblings that don't grow up together and meet later
are attracted to each other.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's like they have this connection, this just like amazing connection
That you just would assume means soulmates.
Yes, that they mistake for romantic love because they just have so many things in common and so many quirks and like and so it's like heavily documented that this is a serious thing.
Fuck.
Yeah. And it's, anyway, I won't spoil it because I found it really good. It is like very upsetting, particularly if you are someone who is like wanting to have kids soon and stuff or like planning a family. I would stay away.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It would, if you're like maybe looking to have like a sperm donor in future, like, because I'm like years away from kids, I was like, okay, but it's still like, not that I would have a sperm donor unless for some reason I develop a kink where I'm like, Skip, I want you to bust in a cup. Fuck this old fashioned way.
You get your own partner to sperm donate.
Yeah. when we, just can't, as old people say, it's like, oh, don't look at me. Don't touch me. Just put it in a cup and throw it.
Throw it at me. Throw it up there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you remember what that's on? Netflix, did you say?
Netflix.
Great.
And it's a 3-parter too. And yeah, the ending is like satisfying but still ominous.
That sounds like a perfect fucked up documentary ending.
Yeah.
It's a great combination.
It's great awareness around like a new thing that we don't have a lot of regulation around.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. The second thing I watched.
Yes.
Deep on the other end of the spectrum, telling me about a community that I kind of have tried to avoid judging for my whole life, and now I am deeply concerned about what goes on. It's a documentary on Binge called Ren Fair. Have you heard about this?
No, but I know what Renaissance fairs are.
Yes. So it is about the original Renaissance fair that happens in America. It's like the biggest Renaissance fair, I think, in the world. It's like, it takes like a year of planning. There's millions of dollars in it, right? And it focuses on the man who founded it. And this man is cuckoo bananas.
Yes.
It literally, so he is 86 years old.
Yes.
Okay. He lives in like a Renaissance themed house. Okay. And he has like assistants doing everything for him. He has like loyal subjects. They refer to him as King George.
Oh, I cannot wait to watch this. This is fucked up.
Okay. And I need you to know this man is like, this is a reason that we don't have royalty anymore, like proper royalty.
Sure.
People who have like loyal subjects, because it makes people crazy in a way that is like disturbing.
Makes him crazy for the power.
Yes. And like just disgusting. Like this man is disgusting. He is 86 and his whole thing is like, before I die, I need to find like a partner. I need to find like a partner. And because he's so old and he can't like online date because he's too old. So he has an assistant who does his online dating for him. And like all of the women he wants are like 40 and under. And I'm like, this man is like someone helps him get out of the bath. Like he is not long for this world.
He's like the Hugh Hefner of Renaissance fair world.
Yeah, but it's like Hugh at least like, wore a robe and like acted suave. This man was in the first episode being like, I get testosterone injections so I can have a hard penis every fucking day.
I bet he stinks too. I bet
He
he
would
smells
definitely
really bad.
stink. He would stink so bad.
And are the women around him into it? Like, does he have loyal followers that think he's, like a Hugh Hefner? Like,
oh, no, the women that work with him, you can tell have had several terse conversations of being like,
good.
Great, so you are not allowed to talk to me like that. I am an employee, right? And also the people that are like closest to him are not women. It's all...
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, it gets into like the whole power dynamic of like, who is going to be the next in succession to run the Ren Fair, and like it gets like, you really see like a microcosm of people that it's like, it's cult-like behavior.
Wow. Because you said Succession, now I'm just imagining it in the world of Succession, but about Ren Fairs.
Yes.
Not about a global media company, but just about a Ren Fair.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun,
It's
dun, dun,
full on and it's kind of sinister and creepy.
Sounds very creepy.
Like I haven't been able to finish the last episode because it gets like a little bit, it starts to get edited like a psychological thriller.
Okay. They had started to have fun with it.
It really adds to the like, what the fuck is happening?
So who made it? Does he know that?
It wasn't made by, it definitely wasn't made by them.
Okay.
These people aren't being roasted.
Good.
Through angles and pauses and B-roll and like, yeah.
Awesome.
It's insane. It's insane. Don't try watch the whole thing in one.
Okay.
Watch it in parts,
Ugh.
in segments.
Luke and I are going away this weekend, and I know what we're going to be watching on Netflix in the hotel.
Go for The Man with 1,000 Kids
yeah,
first.
I might do that first.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay.
We tried to watch it before bed and we had nightmares. Like Ren Fair related nightmares.
Everyone smells so bad. Okay, cool. And what one's that on?
That is on Binge, I
Nice.
believe. Or HBO Max if you're in the US.
HBO Max.
What have you been watching?
All right, I've watched a little fucked up documentary as well.
Ah.
It is a documentary called Dirty Pup.
Oh, yes. I saw this on Netflix.
It is. That's what I was just
Yes.
looking up where it's on. Thank you.
Yes, I saw the trailer for this. Oh my God. So before we get into it, I really want to watch this because we watched another boy band related
Yes.
doco called Fallen Idols, and trigger warning on that.
Couldn't trigger warning enough for that.
We were gonna review it, and then I was like, I literally can't talk about it.
Absolutely fair enough.
Where it's got like a ton of
It was a lot.
sexual assault and like
But if you
Just a
are
lot.
interested in that era, so it's about the Carter brothers, Nick and Aaron Carter, and if you're interested in learning about them, it's a very well-made documentary.
yes.
That's why it's so triggering. It's
Yeah.
very well made. It's damning. It's heartbreaking. And it really, if you're a Backstreet Boys fan, it really kind of fucks shit up for you.
Yeah, you will struggle to listen to Backstreet's Back forever after it.
Yeah.
So yeah, approach with caution. But this sounds a little more fun.
So that was literally my first thought, was like, it is quite nice to watch a documentary about this era of pop and have it not be centered around sexual assault.
Love
Honestly.
that.
To be honest, like I've just watched so many of these things. So this is about like finance fraud and finance crime, which is still awful and damaging.
Yes.
But, you know, after watching so many pieces about sexual assault in the last few years, to watch this, I was the whole way through being like, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Get over it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we stole some money. Who cares?
Yeah, it's white collar crime.
Exactly. So it's a much more like, it is devastating, and the guy is evil, and what he did to a lot of people, like not famous people, but just regular people, is fucking ridiculous. But it's about Lou Pearlman.
Yes.
He's the man. I didn't know much about him. Did you know much about Lou?
Yes, I know tons about Lou Pearlman.
Because it's all come out in the last, several years, right? Like what he did, and
Yeah.
So it's about him, and his backstory is he created the Backstreet Boys, and he kind of accidentally fell into being a boy band creation machine in the 90s.
Yes.
His background was very sketchy. He'd like buy planes and rent them out, and he was like meant to be this billionaire. Anyway, the story goes through. So he created Backstreet Boys, and then he created NSYNC, which I thought was really interesting. And they have this footage of him basically saying, like, why did you create NSYNC to just compete against the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah.
And he's looking at it as a businessman, and he's saying, I created NSYNC because when Coke was created, someone's going to come along and create Pepsi. Why don't I make Pepsi?
Oh my God.
Very smart. So he owns the two competing major boy bands, so he gets all the money anyway.
Oh my God. And didn't he like play them off against each other of being like,
Yep.
Backstreet Boys, they just had a number one. Mm-hmm. Do you feel bad by yourself?
And then Justin's like, I do feel bad about myself.
Justin Timberlake has never said I feel bad about myself.
There's a very funny shot of, there's all this really old footage from back in the day and everything. And there's this funny shot of Justin, he's in like his dorm room or his bedroom, and he's showing whoever's got the camera around, and he's like, and here I've got a poster of Janet Jackson. He's like 16 at this time. Janet Jackson, God, I love that woman. I love that woman. Do you, Justin?
Do you, bitch?
Because you fucked her over pretty hard, not just a few years later. So I thought that was very interesting.
Jesus.
But essentially, it's a huge Ponzi scheme. So it goes through, but it never gets boring. It's still really interesting. And this Lou Pearlman just created this investment scheme that anyone can invest in, and it turns out it was not real, and there was no money. And so all these boy bands lost a lot of money, but regular people lost a lot of money too. Just like run-of-the-mill people who heard about this investment scheme, put in their life savings, and it all
And then he
went
was just
down the
moving
drain.
Wait, so he was like invest in the Backstreet Boys?
That, and he had this like whole enterprise called Transatlantic Companies, and so he had a music label, he had hotels, he owned blimps. He was really obsessed with blimps and stuff.
What the fuck?
So it was really, really interesting. And just a few other things like to point out, just like that I didn't know before. It was his idea for the Michael Jackson 30th anniversary concert. That was huge. It was his suggestion to the Michael Jackson camp in order to rehabilitate Michael Jackson's image. He goes, put on this concert, reunite with the Jackson 5. Everyone will forget about everything that happened.
Oh my God.
So I grew up
and everyone
obsessed with this
did.
concert.
Or everyone was like, it became a punchline of like, haha, he's a pedophile. Isn't that funny?
But look at all this awesome footage of him doing The Way You Make Me Feel with Britney Spears, doing NSYNC. It was a fantastic concert. I loved it growing up.
Is that the one where it has the footage of Earth Song where there's like someone pointing a gun at him and he just like pushes it away?
No.
He's like, what about freedom? It's so funny.
I haven't seen that. I need to.
Maybe it's not from that.
It's not,
but it's just like very funny footage of like there's like a people on stage like acting out a war and he just like walks up to the gun and is like, just pushes it away.
Excellent use of Earth Song, by the way. That's a B track. Well done, my love.
Thank you.
And of course he did. He was so cringe. He was so cringe with his martyr shit.
But this is the thing is like he again was an awful person, but him and Madonna really made way for the pop that we have now, which is so
I do
like
very much believe that.
performative. Like Phil Collins was considered a pop star and he's just a guy in a t-shirt.
True.
Which I love. Phil Collins is my favorite artist, but that was considered pop prior to Madonna and Michael Jackson. And look how much fun we're having now.
So true.
Charlie
so
XCX,
true.
Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, even though I'm coming around on her. But
are you?
Yes. She's worked. I'm not.
So begrudging.
This is the thing is like I just really. She has worked really hard on her music. She's been releasing music since she was 16 years old, okay, even younger than that. But she did grow up in the Disney world, which gives you a crazy leg up.
Yeah.
And
of course.
so she does work hard, but it is like a lot of this is luck.
Well, hey, that's a perfect segue back to this freaking documentary.
And here we go.
So many of these guys all came through Disney and Nickelodeon. And so it's very interesting. There's a lot of like times where you're like, oh no, is sexual assault about to be happening? And it doesn't. You're like, thank God.
They've got all those other documentaries for it.
Exactly.
It's covered.
But there's, I don't know, this just feels like there's a big reckoning at the moment for all of the shitty men who did stuff in the 90s, finally. Just a quick 24 years
now
later.
That statute of limitations is passed.
And then also, I didn't know this, but the 30th anniversary Michael Jackson concert that was meant to rehabilitate his image and distract everyone from the pedophilia claims happened the night before 9/11. So the next day, no one was talking about it anymore. And Lou Pearlman was like, no.
When we needed Earth Song the most. Sorry, that is wildly inappropriate and I'm aware of it.
But yeah, it's just, I don't want to make light of what happened because it is awful what he did, and there is someone in the storyline who took his own life because of what was going on
the
ramifications. And he was a very evil man, and he only cared about himself and his own money. You know, there's the stories about he paid himself as the 5th member of Backstreet Boys. Or 6, is there 5?
Creepy.
Yeah, and so like he would just take all the money and all this stuff, awful stuff.
Is there 5? Nick, Kevin,
Please.
AJ,
Howie D,
Brian.
So he paid himself as the 6th member of the Backstreet Boys and just like shitty stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. They're pretty bad dudes, turns out. So
yeah, well, yeah,
I don't
one
have
of
a lot
them
of sympathy.
at least.
I think there's a lot of apologists in that camp as well.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's a really interesting watch. There's some stuff that they didn't get into as much as I kind
About
of
the
would have
massages?
liked them to. No.
Oh my God. Maybe they kept that off the record. So allegedly, Lou Pearlman would occasionally get these boys to give him a massage.
Dan Schneider style. See? It's all so similar.
Yeah.
It's what Dan Schneider did. Always massages around.
Ugh.
It's in order to, yeah, anyway. But they did kind of get into, is Lou Pearlman a predator and a creep in any way? Did he? And a lot of people think that he's asexual, but then there was a lot of inappropriate touching here and there. But it was just kind of, that wasn't the main focus of the story. But yeah, it is actually considered the longest running Ponzi scheme in American history.
Whoa.
Because it went for so long. I think he only got caught like 10 years ago for it, and then he died in jail.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, he died. So crazy. They should give the name to him then. Like it should be the Perlman's Perlman scheme.
Yeah. Ponzi Perlman. A Perlman Ponzi.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm deeply in the moment because I'm off true crime. I'm having like a moment away from it because it's just, but I am into one specific kind of true crime, which is cons.
Ah, okay. Yeah. It's not as devastating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as though it's still like a rough to see these people get financially fucked.
Yeah.
But man, like there's so many going on at the moment.
Really?
So many with like the dawn of the internet. I mean, the dawn of the internet it's from the 90s. But like people's like social media and like how easy it is for people to lie about stuff.
And replicate
like,
voices and stuff now.
Yes. And how like it's made media literacy so much harder to teach and understand because there is so much of it. And it's really difficult for a lot of people to comprehend what's real and what's not. We literally need to get media literacy classes, I think, in school because like
absolutely, yeah,
it's fucking hard and you just see how people are tricked and like, yeah, it's a lot,
especially with the rise of AI. My God,
oh my God,
like
okay.
We were just talking earlier, just as a side note. There's this, like other day we're recording this is when it's the big thing that Trump talking about Kamala Harris and whether she's black or Indian came out. This disgusting press interview he did, but I was reading all like on Twitter in my Zoomies, my 3 a.m. Zoomies last night.
Yes.
And so half of the discourse was like, can we trust that this is even real? This could be AI, like that kind of stuff, which it's obviously not because his hands look normal. But in the future, it might get to a point where we can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's scary stuff.
Fucking scary as. Although there's one podcast I really recommend called Believable, the Coco Berthman story, which trigger warning, it is like very dark, but it is mainly about a con. And it came out when like AI voice generators were new. Every time they use an AI generator, they go, this isn't Coco speaking. This is actually an AI generated version of her voice. And they're doing like 20 sound bites throughout the entire episode. So they're like, what you're listening to is actually AI. And it's like,
cool.
We get it.
Cool.
We get it, man. Like you don't need to, it's like they're like, you wouldn't have heard of it before, but we're actually doing this crazy little
close.
thing.
I've got a secret for you. Shh, don't tell anyone.
It's AI.
Speaking of that, actually, in the Dirty Pop documentary,
yes,
they do an AI thing with Lou Pearlman throughout the whole thing. So Lou Pearlman wrote a book. And they quote the book heavily, but instead of just reading out the book, they've AI doctored. They've got this footage of him giving an interview from behind the desk somewhere back in the fucking 90s or 2000s, and they've AI'd it so that he is speaking the words from his book.
Whoa. Does it look like off a little bit?
It does look off a little bit, but if they hadn't warned me, I might not have clocked it. It just looked like kind of grainy old shitty footage. But instead it's actually they've rendered it so that he's speaking the words so that I guess the narrator doesn't have to. That was a bit uncomfortable, but
yeah, if I'm sure no one who listens to this podcast is this person, but you can be really interested about AI. Okay, you can be excited about it if you want, but don't go around acting like you're the only person that knows about it, okay? There's some people that are like, did you know AI can... Yeah, we know it can do fucking everything.
Yeah, we just don't like to talk about it because it's kind of gross and scary.
Yeah. Yes, we can all use Chat GPT, okay? It's...
Have you ever?
I used it once to find like a list of facts about something, but...
I've never used it. I've heard about it.
I think it's like mostly... The stuff that I write is like creative and stuff. I don't do a lot of copy for shit.
Exactly.
I'm
so
like,
I can't use it.
Yeah. But like, I don't like using it. I'm sure there'll be a time in the future, but I feel like if you don't need to use it, you shouldn't. And there's some people that are just like making an excuse to fucking use it.
No.
Everything.
No, we're not a pro AI household in this house. Okay, should we move on to? I've got a couple of other things that I've started on,
Yes.
but I'll talk about them more on the Patreon. I've
Okay.
started to watch The Real Housewives of New York.
Oh my God. When you told me that, I was like, fuck, I was meant to start on it.
Yep. Okay. So I looked it up on Reddit to see where I should jump in. There was one Reddit lady who seemed very passionate about people jumping into RHONY and where they should and how they should. She had a list
Also,
of
RHONY for anyone, Real Housewives of New York. I was listening to a podcast for a year and a half. And they're like, so on RHONY? I was like, wow, I can't wait to figure out what RHONY is. And I was like, oh.
It must be only in America.
It's crazy how everyone from The Real Housewives is on that show, RHONY. My God.
So there's this list that this person put up of just basically being like, okay, so season 2, you need to watch episodes 3 and 6, then jump to season 5, watch episode 6, then jump to season 7, watch the end of episode 1, and then skip episode 2. And I was like, I don't have the bandwidth for that.
But shout out to whoever that is. Shout out to
If I had the
people
time,
on Reddit
yeah.
giving the information that Google cannot and would never.
So instead, I've just taken another person's advice from Reddit and just jumped into season 7 from scratch.
Oh, wow.
So season 7 is when Bethany Frankel is divorced. It's post her divorce. So I think that was like a big
That fucking bitch.
storyline. I do know she's crazy. She's the one who came out and did a speaking tour recently in Australia.
Oh.
But yeah, I'll talk about it more on the Patreon. But
it-
any RHONY fans, please hit me up. Let me know. Give me all the goss. Give me all the lore. I'm
Yes.
really enjoying it. It's
Fuck
really
yeah.
it's really enjoyable to watch.
All right, I'll dive in this week. That and
Okay.
Angel Eyes. Because, okay, also, can I say, did she do a speaking tour?
Yeah. Like a live show tour.
Look, this is just a blanket statement. And if anyone is offended, whatever. I don't think this is controversial to say. There is multiple people coming off these reality shows. Like there's a guy from Love Island who's now like a really big podcaster, and he's coming out and doing a speaking tour. These people do not have any qualifications other than being on reality TV. They cannot tell you anything about your life.
Because none of it applies.
None of it applies to them. Their lives are different from ours.
Yeah. I never understand why you want to take advice from a reality star who's then started a business or something, for example. Because the business started because of the reality started.
Yes.
It
They
doesn't
don't
apply
fucking
to
know
normal
this
people. They lose track of what's real and what's like they lose perspective. And yeah. Any
people-
reality star telling you how to run a business, don't listen.
Yeah, these people make like $4,000 and up from posting a fucking Instagram story.
Yep.
They don't know how a real life works in general.
And what kind of
Do not waste your money going to this shit.
Yeah, agreed. So just one more little thing before we move on for any
Yes.
RHONY fans out there. So far, Dorinda is my favorite, and if anything ever happens to her or if she gets cancelled or turns problematic, I will cry.
What do you love about Dorinda?
She's awesome. She's like a mob wife kind of thing. She's the nicest one there. She's the only one that kind of seems to point out when the other women are being fucking crazy, and she's like kind of almost the audience conduit.
Oh,
she's still a little
love.
crazy herself. She's cool. She's fun, but she's got this real New York like accent. She talks like that, and
Love.
this short like pixie blonde hair, and she's just cool, man. And she's the one who points it out when they're being crazy because she's kind of newer to the cast in this season.
Oh, okay. So if anything bad happens with Dorinda later on, don't tell Alex for a few weeks.
But tell me what episodes to skip.
Yes. Let her have it a little while and then she'll figure it out.
Okay. I keep looking at the monitor.
I know. I keep
and
looking
not the lens. Yeah.
For anyone who's watching this and keeps seeing us look down
Slightly
the
up.
camera, and now eye slide is off. It's because there's a little screen of us above it, and I have to check. I'm like, what am I doing? What's going on?
Should we move on to
Oh my god, our main course,
Our two main courses.
the big screen this week.
the two main courses? So we are going to talk about Twister,
Yes.
1994.
Actually, speaking of big screens, can I tell everyone? Fuck, I can't believe I didn't open the episode with this.
Huge.
Speaking of big screens, we bought a new TV. And this is like so exciting because we haven't bought like anything big and expensive like for our house
Together, yeah.
ever. It's all been like coddled together on like Facebook Marketplace. And we got a new TV. It's cute LED, and like 4K, which we were like, can't be that much difference. Our eyes have stopped hurting since having it for a week. We're like, my God, I don't have to like squint to figure out what's going on.
Yay!
It's awesome.
And so you've just been watching everything and anything.
Yes, we've spent a lot of time watching stuff that I'll have to talk about on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time. We don't have time.
It's porn.
But anyway, yes, I have a new TV, and that's all I have to say on that.
I said the screen queendom is leveling up.
Yes.
You know?
And even though literally the next day we went to the cinema together.
We sure did. All right, but first, let's talk about Twister 1994.
Okay. Yeah.
Had you seen this movie before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely. I feel like it was on like Channel 10 and stuff growing up.
It's exactly what I said to Luke as we're watching it. He's like, I remember so much of this, but I don't know if I've seen it. I'm like, I reckon this was one of those ones that was just on TV all the time.
It was a Saturday movie that like came up often. Yes. So I like vaguely remembered the plot about it, but I know that this is one of your favorite movies.
One of my favorite disaster movies, definitely. It's up there. It's let's get into it.
And I would like you to tell me the important parts of it.
Oh, I mean, the most important part, of course, Helen Hunt.
She's gorgeous.
Dude, I haven't seen this movie in so long. I forgot how beautiful she is.
She's a handsome woman.
Yes.
She's a gravitas on screen.
Yes.
And also her looks in this.
It just, her acting, I also love 90s, like we talked about it last week. The sans filler. There's no filler. She's a normal looking lady.
Yes.
But she's stunning, and her outfits in this film are incredible. I think this is one of her best roles. I really do. I think Helen Hunt kills it as a heroine. I think she's so good at just like being in control, being in power. She's got such a commanding presence. She's mother.
She's mother.
To me. And so we've got Helen Hunt, we've got Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes, Bill Paxton.
Can I just say, I love a cold open to a 90s disaster film where it usually will show, it'll foreshadow something, and it'll be someone who isn't in the main cast in the main film. It'll be like some offshoot story, which is exactly what happens in Twister. And you're just like, who's this kid? Who's this family going through this crazy hurricane?
They weren't on any of the cast lists.
Exactly. I know that lady, and then you don't see them for the rest of the film, and then you learn that was Helen Hunt as a child. I just love it all. I love it all so much.
I also would love to know how they filmed that man flying away.
Can I say, upon a rewatch, the special effects in this film, excellent.
Yeah.
For a 90s, like all of the tornado clouds and everything, like everything looked really real.
Because with Twisters, the special effects, I must say, were really good.
Really good, yes.
And like it would have been so much easier. A lot of green screen would have been used.
Of course. But this, pretty impressed.
I remember that I saw a clip, it came up on my feed because we've been talking about Twister, that Bill Paxton was walking through the set of like one of the houses, and it's like built like, it's like a normal house, but it's all built sideways and stuff, so they can like mime struggling to
climb up it and stuff. We should post that. That was such a nice little video of Bill Paxton. He's such a cutie patootie. But I don't know. I just feel like everyone had an obsession with natural disasters in the 90s. And I kind of count Titanic in that realm as well. Just big disasters. I think everyone got really obsessed with it, and I certainly did. I was obsessed with like tsunamis and stuff. Another thing I would like to say is I didn't know this, but it turns out that Helen Hunt in this film is my style icon. You
know what? I was literally before going to say, you guys have such similar style.
Big pants, little top.
Yes.
Big pants, little top.
Big pants, little top never goes wrong.
And she apparently started it. And I'm so excited to know that.
Oh my God.
But yeah, shall we move on to Twisters?
Yes. The reason watching the original Twister is because Twisters came out.
And I now have the time.
Yes.
To do so.
We went into the cinema.
Oh, in the daytime.
And saw it. And so we were particularly excited for this one because it has Glen Powell, who we're a big fan of after seeing him in Top Gun Maverick.
Sure, we stumbled with anyone but you, but that's okay. That's not his fault.
Did I also try and watch The Hitman on Netflix and have to stop because I was like, he's hurting. I can see doing this movie hurts him.
Oh, that's so empathetic of you. You're an empath.
I am.
I've always said that.
I am. Or did I just really not like the scripting? And I was like, I can't with this. And I've loved him again since Scream Queens, not Scream Queens, Scream Queens, where he played one of the funniest douchebags ever, Chad Radwell.
Cool.
I've loved him since Chad Radwell days, where he has a very passionate scene with Niecy Nash that I will never forget. It's just, I can't. Anyway, so very excited to see him in this, as well as Daisy Edgar-Jones from Normal People, aka two hot Irish people suck and fuck away 5 hours of your life.
I know her from Under the Banner of Heaven, that mini-series with
Andrew Garfield
about Mormonism.
Yes.
And like radical Mormonism.
I remember watching that.
She was very
good.
good.
I do not remember what happened in it.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but she was excellent in it. Look, she has big shoes to fill. Got big fucking shoes to fill. She's playing the Helen Hunt character. Really big shoes to fill.
And she's a little lady.
She's tiny. And I have to say, I had my arms crossed at the beginning. I was like,
did.
You proved to me.
You did. And I wondered what
Daisy?
that was about. I was like, okay, this is her passion. You know, she's
mumbling
excited.
at the screen. I was like, you proved to me that you can do
She
this,
said, fucking
Daisy.
bring it, bitch. I was like, what have I done?
Not you.
We got our medium popcorns and our waters.
So healthy.
It was between dinner time, okay?
It was.
It was before dinner, so we're not going to get crazy snacks.
But Daisy was great.
She was great.
Well, if you're watching Daisy, well done.
Love.
You pulled it off.
The whole cast, loved.
Couldn't actually fault anyone in that cast. Should we say for one, we love this movie?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I
loved
love this movie. It was so fun.
Which I wasn't expecting to, though. I've heard a lot of conflicting reports.
I think it is a movie you have to watch with someone.
Yes.
Watching it alone, it's not as fun because there are very cheesy moments where you have to turn to someone and go, oh my God.
But I was really like, bristling for those, thinking that they'd fuck it up. But it was cheesy in the way that disaster movies are meant to be cheesy.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't over the top corny or anything. There's just moments where you're like, okay, well, that was exposition, or I know what you're doing there. But that's the formula.
Yeah. The cast was great. The special effects was great. The pacing was great. The cinematography was great. The scripting was great, except for 3 points that I will be bringing up. Okay. 3 particular points that struck a chord with me. But like everyone was like, you could tell everyone was really committed to making this a good movie. However, the goal of it was to stop a tornado, which is impossible.
Which is pretty crazy.
And so that part of it, I think, made it funny. Of the like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna stop a tornado. And I was like, okay, but like, and they're like talking this like science and stuff, and they're so committed. Everyone, the number of times that people were obviously in a green screen shooter, being like, the tornado is coming.
So true. No.
Yes, the panic reaching.
The crawling.
No. God, if you're not
though.
watching these
Fun
on YouTube,
though.
what are you doing?
Fun.
What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, and everyone committed their whole windy asses.
Yeah, no one was too cool for this. No one, and I loved that. I really loved that. As someone who like holds disaster movies with such reverence, like it's the same like feeling that I wish we'd had watching the new form of rom-coms. It's just like they're getting it. They don't get it, but with this, I'm like they get it.
They're leaning in.
Yes, leaning in. You're right. Everyone absolutely committed, and when everyone commits, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Because you just get like there's no fourth wall breaking, there's no taking you out of it. You're just like, I'm in.
Yes.
We're in this world. And I believe it.
I fully believed it. And God, did I want to be there.
Yes.
God, did I.
Yes.
Okay. So this is we are going to spoil. So this is a brief synopsis is Daisy Edgar-Jones plays, what's the character's name? Oh, Kate, who is I nearly said tornado chaser. And she's trying to develop technology to stop tornadoes. And this starts when she's in college. Yes. Cold open throwback.
Exactly. That's the thing. They're following the formula. So and the exact same formula of Twister. And think of that. Fuck. The first scene is her going through an F5.
Yes.
Like Helen Hunt's character as a child going through an F5, which is the worst type of tornado. We hate F5s.
Wait, so I thought in the original they said F5.
Here they're saying EF.
EF. Oh, it's EF. Okay.
Well, I think maybe it's changed in the years in between the films. I did notice that as well.
Yeah.
In this film, they call them EFs.
Whoa.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So it starts with her, and she's with her boyfriend at the time and 2 friends, and they're trying to get funding for
These experiments.
And unfortunately, her 3 friends and her 2 friends and her boyfriend pass. Her
They get
and
sucked up by
they
the
get sucked up by the tornado. Which it's full on. It's a full on scene to start with.
It is really full. Yeah, and it feels so real. Like it's. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I get really like, and I was saying this to you, I get really witchy around weather and storms and stuff. I love storms. I love thunder. I just like kind of like feel it in my bones, and the only way I can describe it is
the energy.
witchy.
You feel the electricity.
It genuinely, like if there's thunder outside, I'll be that basic bitch that's like, ooh.
So if you're not being witchy for something, why are we women? That's what I would say.
What's our purpose?
Literally, it's like you get to be spiritual and witchy about stuff in a way that is accepting. I love that men don't.
I love that. Do you have anything you're witchy about?
What?
Crystals.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm not like a crystals person, but I totally have all the time in the world and will listen to anyone that wants to talk about crystals and star signs.
Yeah.
What do I get witchy about? The moon. Oh, the moon.
Yep. Okay. Exactly.
Me and my mum will call each other when the moon's up. We go, the moon's up. What does it mean?
What's it doing?
And we never know, but we just sit there and go,
but we posit. Exactly. All girls get to be witchy at some point in time. So, yeah, anyway, just seeing all of the incredible special effects around the tornadoes and things getting sucked up and getting put back down, and it fell in my soul.
There was no point, and this is like a lot of intense effects. There was never a point where I was like, what the fuck was that? Or like it didn't make any sense.
True.
Which is so common in movies.
These days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they overdo it.
And we saw it on the extreme screen. Okay?
Fucking extreme.
If there was an era, we would have seen it.
Exactly. And we were the only ones in the cinema apart from one other lady.
Yes, who I'm sure hated us. But we weren't being crazy.
We weren't. We were just reacting to each other about funny parts. Yes. And maybe we enhanced the experience for her. Who knows?
Maybe there were points where we needed to laugh out loud.
To let her know it's okay.
Yes.
To laugh out loud.
Yes. Even though she's trying to like, shut up. Let me just watch my movie that I've come by myself to see in peace.
The poor woman. She was probably just like equally as horny for Glen Powell as we are, and just wanted the time to herself.
My God. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. There was another tornado on screen, and his name is Glen.
No, if I could just say, at one point you turned to me and you said, there is a storm in here.
Yeah. God damn.
And then I said, I want to tame that tornado.
Oh my God.
See, this is the kind of stuff we were giving this woman, you know? This is the kind of banter.
She was probably listening and being like, God, I wonder if those girls have a podcast. God, they are funny. They are funny.
Glen.
So, because he, I believe, is from Texas. And he's always been like attractive.
As in Tyler or Glen Powell?
Glen Powell.
Okay, yep.
I mean, Tyler, I've only known him briefly, but I would agree, yeah, he was attractive the whole time.
That's true, actually, from Go to Work. Okay, so Glen Powell, yes. I was only introduced to him in Top Gun.
Yeah. Yeah. But he was the villain in that, so, you know, and Miles Teller was there, so.
Oh, I forgot about Miles. Whoops.
Yeah. And that took up, you know, a lot of the bandwidth.
That's true.
Of the film, I would say.
Yeah.
And the last, like, he wasn't hot in The Hitman, didn't like it, and Anyone But You, it just, like, wasn't the right fit.
It wasn't. I feel really strongly about that, especially after seeing this film. That was not the role for him. Too clean cut.
Yeah.
Too squeaky clean. I don't like him like that.
He needs to be a little bit of a dick.
Yeah, he needs, and rugged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a cowboy.
And a fucking cowboy.
My God. Levi's, if you are not doing a deal with fucking Glen Powell right now, what the fuck are you doing? This man in blue jeans and a flannelette.
And a red and black checked flannelette.
Damn it. Get a bucket and a mop for this wet ass shadussy. I get a hurricane over here to clean up this fucking mess.
We got an F5 going on in here, baby.
Okay, he was so sexy in this.
I was not ready for it.
We were like digging nails into each other's arms every time he did something.
I had to squirm. Like
Yes.
there was a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
in my seat.
When we both went to the bathroom at one point, we would text each other. We're like, Glenn's back. You gotta rush. Don't wash your hands. Quickly.
Get back here now.
He's wearing a white shirt and they're making him walk through the rain, which is a real thing that they did.
They really did.
They really did.
That's a clip and we'll put the footage in. Oh my God.
Please.
Oh my God. At one point, the man literally walked outside in a white t-shirt and it started raining. And we're like, you know exactly what you're fucking doing. You guys know exactly what you're doing.
Did Bill Paxton do anything like that?
He wasn't, no. He's more your Sam Neill in
okay.
in Jurassic Park
Genteel.
vibes. Yeah, him and Helen Hunt's character are divorced and then they kind of get back together.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing with Glen Powell. Glen Powell knew what he was doing with Glen Powell. It was perfect.
Yeah.
At one point, he says the words, "Yes, ma'am." And actually, that's my only note from this film is "Yes, ma'am."
When he said yes, ma'am, I said, I'm going to go sit over there.
I was like, please leave.
Please.
Me right
we
now.
can't be near each other.
I can't move right now, but you need
I
to.
need to get out of here. I need to relocate
I need a textbook.
and calm down.
Because he was saying it to her as well, because it was a scene where she was taking control because she's the competence pawn in this film.
Yes.
She's the genius. She's the one, and he has to follow her around and listen to
Yes.
what she has to say.
And he's overconfident and he's, he seems like a real douchebag that he doesn't, play by the rules. But
Oh, the rules? Get out of here. Glenn's got no time for him. And then at one point, she's telling him what to do and she's instructing him and it's a tense moment. She goes, go do this. Yes, ma'am. Oh. That's literally what we did in the cinema.
And it's like this thing, he knew he was being sexy on screen. He fucking knew. And I was like, I don't care that you know. You have to know.
I mean, yeah, it'd be weird if you didn't know.
Yeah.
I'd have more questions, to be honest.
I'll DM him and make sure.
Do you know?
Do you know?
FYI.
I'll tell you, speaking of hot people in this film,
Sure.
a man who has been, I was like, this man has been in every movie.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Ramos. Turns out he's just been in every movie that I've seen
you've
recently. Which, by the way, is definitely not the movies that everyone's seen, which is the new Transformers movie and Dumb Money specifically.
You said that in the cinema. Like, he's everywhere. I've never seen this man
so
before in my
confused. And I was
life.
like, what are you talking about? And then a quick Google, I was like, no, she's right. She's right. He's just been following me around. Gotta say, he has some of the best set of shoulders
Yeah.
going in Hollywood right now.
Okay.
Really good shoulders.
I didn't clock him, but
I'm on.
I'll watch it again.
I clocked him. I know he's, the secret villain of this.
Yes.
Not the secret villain, but, he's...
Kind of a villain that has an arc in the end.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't clock his shoulders, but do you know what good shoulders means? Good forearms. So I'm in.
I love a forearm.
I bet he'll have a great
My
forearm.
hand was like, he can throw you
strong?
around. I don't know.
He's a strong man. Good for him. Yes, so he was fantastic. I really loved their whole storyline of the friendship that got, split understandably because of intense tragedy and trauma.
Yeah.
Come back together, but there's still shit in there and they say things to each other that are awful but it's all trauma based. It's PTSD.
And they're working through it.
And they're working through it for the good of the country because they need to tame those tornadoes. And also like Glen Powell, Tyler's arc during it as well.
Yeah.
It's all, it was just really good. It was just really good, clean, fuck yeah movie.
I'll tell you what, at the start of the movie, this movie honestly has like a great, the arc of the movie is unexpected. Like it's not just like, there's a tornado, we got to chase it and fix it.
Yeah.
There's conflict in there.
Yeah. Unexpected conflict too.
And there's a company that at first we think are chill, but that Anthony Ramos' character worked for, and they go around like, you know, measuring these tornadoes and stuff. But it turns out it is to sell insurance to people who have been devastated by these tornadoes.
And then buy their property as well once they
Yes.
need to leave the devastated area. And I imagine at a loss. And
Yes.
yeah.
But at the start there is a
Real
man-
Lou Pearlman.
Real Lou Pearlman. But there's the man at the start of the movie, we meet one of the people that works for this company before you find out that they're bad. And if we're talking about competence porn, there was a young brunette autistic man that I was very about. I was like, how's he not the love interest? He's handsome as shit, and he's got a headset on.
Yep.
He's got a tight cut polo.
Oh,
Okay.
he looks very tight.
He looks very competent at what he's doing at all times. And I was like, is this going to be the big reveal? That Glen Powell's actually the B-side?
This is the love interest.
Yeah, this data freak over here.
David Corrin Sweat is his name.
Shout out David Corrin Sweat. Yeah, he's a handsome dude. He's got like
handsome
Henry
dude.
Cavill energy.
He's very Henry Cavill energy, actually. That is absolutely it.
My one
He's the new Superman.
Oh my God, that's why. Yeah, I was like, he's too hot to be
Yeah.
the kind of bad guy in this.
But also not much of a role, really.
Well, I would disagree because
Okay.
he says my favorite line of the whole film.
Yep.
Which at one point, Anthony Ramos is deciding if he's going to go help out Kate and Tyler or stay with the company.
So basically, yeah.
And this man yells at him with such passion of like, they're like, oh, do we go with the business or follow the tornado? And he goes, whose side are you on? And I was like, I pissed myself laughing because I was like, is he asking if you're on the side of business or the tornado? Whose side are you on? Business or the tornado?
That tornado's done nothing for you.
No sense. It made no fucking sense.
We cracked up. That was a very funny moment. It was such a tense moment, but it was a great tension release.
Oh, so funny.
That's what we want from these films. They did it. They've done it. And I'm so happy.
So Glen Powell in this plays enemy to lovers.
Yeah, he's kind of the villain at first, but then that
Yes.
quickly switches.
He plays like a bullshit YouTube storm chaser, which I loved how like the modern take on
The commentary on how there are just storm chasers now as
Yeah.
well. That's a big thing, definitely. And then the YouTube of it all.
Yes.
And so he's like obnoxious. He's like they're there to study like the Kate and everyone's there to study the tornadoes and
Yes.
fix them so that devastation doesn't happen. He's just there to literally shoot fireworks up them.
Yes. Make a spectacle of it. And he comes in with his whole crew, his whole gang.
He's cool. They're the cool ones.
Yeah. And they get in the way. They make a fuss. They make a scene.
Was there any other moments that you wanted to discuss before we wrap up?
Oh, I mean, I did notice as well they kept being, and this is a point that I've seen made before, of they kept being like, the weather's changing, the floods are bad, and the weather, and it's like they never said climate change.
Yeah. I was listening to Celebrity in my Bubble Club talk about it. They're like, just say climate change.
Yeah.
Just say climate change.
Yeah.
They talk so much about, getting more floods lately, going to be a lot more tornadoes than usual these days. Just say climate change.
I did notice a lot, this movie walked a line of like really not trying to make a political statement in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, it sucks because it could have.
It could have, but also at the same time, I'm like, this movie knows what it is.
Is that what we want from it?
Yeah. It's like, at
Actually.
the end of the day, I'm like, it was like a weird point to miss. But when we fix climate change in 5 years, that'll be irrelevant.
We can look back and be like, oh, there it is.
It won't date the movie.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Take the movie. An out of touch reference of climate change.
Anything else?
I just love, I'm just remembering the big climactic scene of the big F5 where they're hiding in the pool, the empty
my
pool.
God.
It's all so good.
I loved it. Oh, I tell you what, the one thing that I really didn't like is it did that music thing where the songs were saying
Describing
the exposition.
what was happening. Oh no, I didn't pick that up.
Oh my, I can't unsee it now. Literally, there was a point where Kate tricks Tyler, and then the song is like, boys are easy, boys are easy to trick, boys are easy to trick. And I was just like, the fuck? And there was another point where she's like driving home and it's like, cause she's like frazzled and doesn't know where she stands anymore. And things like, trapped between two worlds, don't know who I am, going home. And I was like,
to see my mom.
Can't just put in a country what is this? Were these songs commissioned for these scenes? For the love of God, why?
It is hard because this is a film that heavily relies on country music, and country music by definition is very descriptive. The lyrics do just describe actions that happen to people in their daily lives. So maybe it was just an accident.
But I've seen it too much now, and it's really got my goat.
Yeah, understandable. Shall we rate this?
All right.
Great.
Okay. How many
rodeos out of 5?
You tell you what, one thing this movie missed is Glen Powell mentioning that he used to do rodeos and then we never see him ride a horse. Come on.
That's right. Because when it was introduced, we got excited because we thought that meant he's going to get on a horse. And he never got on a horse. Also, sorry, before we wrap up, and this might affect our rating, we never see them smooch.
Oh my God, that was okay, how do we not open with this? How do we not open with this?
Because I feel like I've tried to forget it.
Honestly, yeah, the tension between them two, the chemistry is fucking amazing.
Great.
And like a real believable story. And then they never, it builds to this big climb. He runs after her at the airport and they don't kiss.
They just walk off together. And they get close a couple of times. So I don't understand. I'd love to know why. Like that was a choice. That was an on-purpose choice to never let us see them actually kiss each other.
Did they not pay them enough money to kiss?
Because to be honest, I was expecting a sex scene in the ute in the middle of a tornado.
Honestly.
And they didn't even
Paul Scheer, the parking inspector watching on. Love a little Paul Scheer cameo.
That was funny.
I fucking love Paul Scheer.
He's so funny. Yeah, so I'd love to know the reasoning behind that. I don't like it, and I think it was a bit rude.
Yeah.
You can't build – you just can't.
That much tension.
For 2 hours and then not release it for us. Just a smooch.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, are you implying
weird
that they don't get together and they're just going to be friends, or who knows?
Or why not have him riding in on a horse to the airport, scoop her up and then they kiss?
I remember at one point he says, I used to ride rodeos, and we both went, can we see?
Yeah.
Can you show
us? Please, Daddy.
Can you see that? Okay. So with all the information we now have, how many rodeos out of 5 do you give this film?
I give this 4 rodeos out of 5.
Nice.
And that is because we watched it as a duo and we were having fun and being silly. I think if you sat down to watch this movie seriously on your own, I think you would not understand the rating.
Yes.
I've just given.
You have to have fun with this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to lean in.
And I give it a 4 as well for that exact reason. It's not worth a 5. It's not Twister 1996, but Twister 2024. That's a pretty solid 4. Twisters. The plural.
And now we have to wait until Twisters with the Z to finally see these two kiss, which I sadly don't think will happen because
I don't think we'll see them together again in these characters.
Yeah, Glen Powell is rising into the stratosphere.
He really is,
and so is like Daisy and I mean they're like everyone's already rising too quickly to. Like a tornado, you may say.
Especially David Corin Sweat.
Yes. Yeah.
What an unfortunate name.
Yeah. Corin Sweat. Wow.
Okay. Well, that is
Twisters. And our episode of Screen Queens today.
So Screen Queens in our new home. We're very excited, very cozy, comfy. And if you're listening to this, head over to YouTube to check it out.
Visually. Also, we have social media where we post beautiful, fun little clips and memes and stuff. So you can follow us at Screen Queens Pod. I'm pretty sure on everything.
Yes.
If you see our beautiful like peach and orange logo.
Yeah.
That's us.
And our beautiful green and purple velour tracksuits.
Yeah.
Because we like to lounge and watch the screens.
Love screens.
All right, I'm going to go watch a bit more of my new friend Bethany
Oh,
Frankel.
tell me how it goes. All right, we love you.
Love you.